Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. Okay, so this is me reacting to what Matt Reeves just dropped. Just in case you didn't know, today's video will include me breaking down the latest casting information in a few minutes, I guess. I want to combine it. I don't want to do two separate videos. I don't see the point in doing that. But literally, as I was editing that video, which you guys should see in a few minutes, so stick around if you want to see the latest casting updates for the Batman and how I think that can tie into the movie and all that stuff. Of course, Matt Reeves, you know, I had a feeling like every single time I try and do a video like this, well, it's not every single time, but it feels like it, this happens. And wow, Matt Reeves, guys, has dropped the look of the Batmobile, and I am really excited right now. I'm almost inaudible. I feel like I'm going to be very speechless because it looks fantastic, and it's what a lot of us expected. And when I say that, that is in a very, very good way. These images that he released are very, 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 very good. It's also very interesting because later in this video, when I go over the casting breakdowns, I relate it to the rumors and what we've heard about the production of the Batman and what things or characters will look like. And this really does link up to what we thought it would be, and that it was more of a muscle-esque kind of Batmobile car rather than that of your tank-ish kind of Batmobile. Naturally, because this is year 2 in Robert Pattinson's Batman's career, that very much so makes sense that there's a lot of a makeshift sense of things going on. Obviously, this really did add up with his suit. I'm really one of those people who absolutely adores the suit. I really don't get the hate with it. And the same with this Batmobile. It's a lot more, I mean, naturally throughout the trilogy, there's going to be upgrades. Of course there is. But this Batmobile, it just looks fantastic. And it is what they said it would be. Not who's they, you may be asking, just everyone. Or should I say the insider scoops or the rumors that have been circulating around. And looking at this, it's just fantastic. I know I'm going to be repeating myself at this point. Obviously, we've got Robert Pattinson standing there. One of the closer up images does look like it's almost concept-y, just in the sense of how it's been edited, this photo. It looks like very, very sharp and grainy. But I love how it's kind of like a mix of a longer kind of Burton-y Batmobile in a way, but also more of a modernized, as I said, homemade approach, because I've been over this so many times in my videos and how this trilogy, I feel, or at least the Batman 2021, we're going to see Bruce in his absolute kind of defining state as Batman. I mean, we know this story in this movie is going to this arc will allow him to go for a transformation, but I'm really looking forward to just seeing not a complete year 1 Batman, but year 2, but a guy who is no way near graduated to becoming Batman, and his suit and the Batmobile are very reflective of that. Now, is it just me, but does Robert Pattinson kind of look terrified in this one shot here? I don't know, I'm just kind of memeing it a teeny bit. I mean, he looks really badass at the same time. Overall look of the car, I love it. It's not too eccentric, it's not too low profile, but at the same time, it's very interesting how exposed it is. I love that engine as well. I'm not a car guy. If any of you can let me know down in the comments below what this is based off on, but that's a very exposed one. I mean, if you kind of think about it, if one of the goons out there got a bullet on that Batmobile, and especially that engine, surely that would explode. I mean, unless it's kind of bulletproof. Don't blame me, I'm a noob, but I'm pretty sure. But either way, I'm sure this is going to be, I don't know, I can just really see this fit in the movie so perfectly. Love the lights. I love the kind of bat-esque end of the car with the way it curves with the wings almost, kind of like helping the aerodynamics, if you will. Yeah, all I can say, you can't really break this down too much more. It's great seeing, I just want to add as well, Pattinson in the suit there. The cowl from this distance looks absolutely incredible. Hopefully this, I don't know, maybe it is because it's quite from a distance, you can't see the leather kind of close-up look that we did see, but I really do feel like the way they shot this, obviously they wanted to release it in a nice kind of pleasing way, and obviously this is going to be probably out in public soon, which is why they wanted to get out ahead of it. But even with him walking towards the car there, really kind of gives you a cinematic feel for the movie, the poses that he's in, the suit. As I said, the pairing with the suit and the Batmobile is like, you know, 2 peas in a pod almost. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. I'm not going to drag this out any further. I'm sorry I'm looking over here the whole time because I can't take my eyes off the goddamn thing. Absolutely phenomenal. You get a teeny little bit of a look at the dashboard inside it, and I can't wait to see this thing in action. It looks Everything for this movie, you can't argue with me, is shaping up to be awesome. But other than that, guys, I think I'm going to end this there, and we're going to get into the breakdown. If there's a bit of an energy change between the way I'm acting now and the way you'll see me in a second in the video, it's understandable as to why, because I'm looking at the freaking Batmobile and the Batman in all new images. Can we please get a like on this video to just... I don't know. Let's just like it, because I like this, and I'm sure you must like it as well. If you don't, I don't know what to say to you. But anyway, to past me, I guess. So as we all know, already cast for the Batman is Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as the Riddler. We even have John Turturro as Carmine Falcone, Colin Farrell as the Penguin, and even some other roles such as Gil Colson, if I remember correctly, as Gotham's District Attorney. But today, even recently, there's been some more castings, and I'm sure some of you know, probably by the title of this video or the thumbnail, this could do with a bit of speculation, because there's actually several candidates who these actors could be playing. Now, there's actually a couple of castings that I want to go over, but first and foremost, the most recent one. Apparently, AV Club are confirming that Charlie and Max Carver are the latest actors to join the Batman, and many are speculating, ever since this has been floating around the internet since yesterday, that they could be playing Tweedledum and Tweedledee, which, you know, to be honest, does kind of make sense with how much they've kind of just been with, like, the Mad Hatter, for example, in the comics. And if you guys remember from some of the earliest leaks and rumors about the Batman, and there was a lot of them, literally ever since last year around the summertime, all of Batman's rogues gallery would be kind of active and out there, albeit that we might not see each and every single one of them very prominently in the film. And a couple of those who have yet to still be announced or cast, which has kind of made a lot of people question what could be going on, because so far, of course, we've had the Riddler, who is the main antagonist of the movie. We've got Colin Farrell's Penguin, but a lot of people have been like, hey, but what happened to the rumors of Mad Hatter, Firefly, even Two-Face, Harvey Dent, which we'll get onto a little bit later as well, with some of the other stuff I've got to talk about. And if they are indeed playing Tweedledum and Tweedledee, then I can definitely see how a lot of people are leaning towards, hey, if it is them, then maybe we could see the Mad Hatter in the background, since, of course, some of the earliest speculation, and not even speculation, reported, like, kind of rumors, if you will, from, fairly trusted people online who get quite a few scoops, was saying that Batman will be going throughout the criminal underworld of Gotham, and as a result will run through multiple of his rogues gallery in order to try and find the real culprit, who is the Riddler, who is committing all of these crimes. Or even if he knows it's the Riddler already, he will still have to go through several different people who, as I said, might not have massive prominent roles, even though they are his rogues gallery, but he might bump into the Mad Hatter for a portion of the movie, or maybe by proxy just Tweedledum and Tweedledee. But I have actually got a couple of other candidates who I think they could turn out to be, because it's not confirmed, it's just, a lot of people are linking it to that Mad Hatter rumor. I personally haven't seen a bunch of Charlie and Max's work. I think years ago I was watching Teen Wolf. I don't think I ever finished the series, but I definitely remember them from that. And for them to play Tweedledum and Tweedledee, it's going to be interesting, because a lot of people were saying, aren't they going to have to get kind of thick or just put on maybe some fat suits? That could happen if they're playing that role, but at the same time, as I always say this, things don't necessarily get copy and pasted from comics to live action. That's been demonstrated a bazillion times. Some of your favorite comic book movies, everything is an adaptation. Some more comic book accurate than others. Some characters in movies more comic book accurate than other characters within the same movie. So I'm just saying, if they do turn out to be Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and they have anything to do with the Wonderland gang, or if they're of their own, because there's lots of different iterations and imaginings of those two specific characters. Like, they've been the Joker's henchmen, they've been their own kind of thing before, in that they can just be looking how they are. But I bet if they were Tweedledum and Tweedledee, there would still be a little bit, how can I say it, maybe thick in the head. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see if Matt Reeves does choose them to be those characters, how he'll play them out on screen. Other characters these twins could be playing is none other than the Trigger twins, which would be pretty cool as well. As I said though, I would lean more towards just Tweedledum and Tweedledee, just because of the Mad Hatter rumor, but that is really, I think, all people are going off there. Trigger twins in more modern iterations are more affiliated with a Batman villain, if you will. It would kind of make a bit more sense in terms of the look rather than Tweedledum and Tweedledee just barrel rolling around. I can't really see that happening in this movie anyway, but who knows. But lastly, guys, I don't think I've read this in many places, and to be honest, this is kind of stemming mainly from the animated series, but there's a big question about Harvey Dent. Where is Harvey Dent? Like, no joke intended there, really, because a lot of people know, and in some way or another, Harvey Dent will be in this trilogy. A lot of people were expecting him in this movie. We know we've got Gil Coulson, played by Peter Sarsgaard, as I said at the very beginning, who is the district attorney. Does that mean Harvey Dent has already been that person and become Two-Face as, Batman is in year 2 and really coming into his own as the hero and just hasn't faced up against that man who had that, like, acid accident, maybe? Or is he still yet to take over from Gil Coulson in the movie to become the district attorney Harvey Dent? If that is the case, or if that isn't the case, we could look into the fact that they could be cast as Min and Max, who, as some of you may know out there in Batman the Animated Series, were these two twins and henchmen of Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. And I really see it. I really see Charlie and Max Carver being these two characters as well. So this is what I mean. There are more sensical roles that you could attribute these guys to in their casting than others. I think the safe bet would be the link to the Mad Hatter and how that was a rumor and how they could be Tweedledum and Tweedledee, maybe just a different reimagining of those two, unless they really do go under heavy makeup or something. But then again, we don't know what's going on with Harvey Dent, and there is still castings coming out for this movie. But the thing is, I have said this before, and many others as well, you would have thought along the star ensemble cast with that Warner Brothers press release, they would have revealed one of the big names being Harvey Dent if he were going to be in this movie, or if he was going to be in this movie, rather. It would have made more sense if he was going to be in this movie. It would have just made sense for them to have released his name and the actor's name to be a part of this movie if he was going to be a big role, which kind of makes me think, is Harvey Dent really going to be in this movie much? Which means Min and Max might not be the right casting for these two. But at the same time, kind of expect the unexpected. I wouldn't really put it past Matt Reeves to take a deep dive into something like Batman the Animated Series and introduce those two. Let's say Harvey Dent, based on those rumors from months and months and months ago, like the other Rogues Gallery members are already out there and active. It's just, every imagining of Gotham or a Batman story is done differently. Sometimes he creates the villains, sometimes the villains create him, sometimes it's a mix of the both, sometimes some of them are already out there, sometimes he's present there for the creation of them. So I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Who do you think they should be? I know the most popular answer in the comments is already going to be Tweedledum and Tweedledee, just with how they could be henchmen for the Mad Hatter if Robert Pattinson's Batman goes throughout the criminal underworld. Maybe he bumps into them, and maybe we're still yet to get the Mad Hatter, and the reason why they weren't released in the first press release for the Batman is because even the Mad Hatter, being obviously one of the Batman's biggest Rogues Gallery villains, might be a smaller role in the film. So that announcement could still be coming, and we have to remember at the same time as well, this movie is getting quite a lot of castings, and I don't think he'll want to spread, themselves too thin in terms of the amount of villains in this movie. Because this leads me on to what I wanted to talk about next, and I hadn't spoken about this until now. I kind of wanted to save a little bit of information to talk about, and that is another casting of Perez Abraham, who will also be appearing in the movie in a mystery role, just like the twins, even though a lot of us are guessing who they could be. Yet again, nobody knows who this guy could be playing, although some are speculating, just like the twins, that this could be Firefly. Now, just like the original rumors of the Mad Hatter, along with that was Firefly. Some of the earliest filming, I believe, around in Temple in London. Some people, I believe, were saying that was to do with some fires going around in Gotham, linked to an orphanage maybe, and maybe Firefly was going around burning places that he spent time as in a child. But yet again, I don't believe that is a definitive leak or anything like that, so don't worry about being spoiled. It's just some context behind why Firefly could still very well be involved in the film, just not in a pivotal role, just as a lesser role to build that kind of world building for Bruce and Batman and his rogues gallery, and the many villains that are actually out there, maybe already existing in Gotham, and the Batman is just kind of coming around, proving himself. But I've said this in almost every Gotham video recently. I believe there will be quite a few villains in this film, but they won't necessarily be their comic book counterparts. Like Penguin, Colin Farrell's Penguin, you could kind of liken it to the Gotham series in a sense that Penguin, Robin Lord Taylor's Penguin, a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't look like Penguin, but that's because it wasn't like at that time yet. This doesn't mean that the Penguin won't get more overweight. Same with Colin Farrell's Penguin, and same with the Gotham TV show. Just for like an analogy here, by the finale, he was that kind of guy. I truly believe that for quite a few characters in the Robert Pattinson Batman trilogy. The Riddler will probably be becoming the Riddler as Batman is becoming Batman in this movie. The Penguin, I believe he'll definitely be the Penguin, but there's other characters out there which still yet remain to be seen, like is Harvey Dent even Two-Face, as we've already said. Catwoman might actually only just be becoming Catwoman in this movie, and the same applies for many other villains who you may be thinking about. And as far as Perez Abraham's role, as I said, it could be Firefly, but it could just be anyone, but it will be something notable, I'm guessing, but not massive. So guys, what I need from you, as usual, is who do you think these castings are? For what characters? So we've got Charlie and Max Carver, of course. Who are they playing? There's like 3. Then we've obviously got Perez Abraham, and do you think he might be Firefly or just some other god knows what else character he could play in Gotham? Because there's plenty to choose from. Other than that, guys, I do encourage you to check out my past Batman video, because in between news, I've been trying to keep you guys going and tiding you over with some other content, and that is me responding to what you guys want to see in the Batman. I will be doing a part 3 because I've got part 1 and part 2 up, but I won't be doing part 3 until we get the next significant kind of drop of Batman news, whether that's like the Batmobile and a lot more solid information than just some vague casting like this. Like this video if you did enjoy it, guys. I'm looking forward to reading your comments about all of this speculation. Let me know if you want to see a whole dedicated leaks video, not necessarily true leaks, but it would be fun to go over whatever these rumors and leaked information is out there on the internet. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you, Bat family, almost forgot there, in the next video. Goodbye.